You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. Jet, we Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, Black Sun, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? You already know what it is. Your boy Scotty back with another one. Happy Thursday. All right. Happy Thursday. Listen, I did this super last minute. I usually don't do shows on Thursdays and Fridays, but you know what I'm saying? I've been wanting to go live today, and I got the gumption and unction to get up and do it. Now, if you're a South Carolina State fan, you gonna like Friday, because Friday I'm gonna break down some Eric Phoenix film from the Tennessee Tech game. And when I tell you it's good, it's good. It's really good. It's good. It's really good. So you guys should be super excited to see what Eric Phoenix looked like and what 421, 412 yards looks like. All right. A little bit of great quarterbacking, a little bit of great play calling. It's a great blend of good football, good film, and stuff like that. So definitely want to check in for that. Now, listen, I know you Bamas have heard that me, my boy Rocky, we're going to be down at the Southern vs. Alcorn game, October 19th. Let me put that in there. October 19th. That is Alcorn's homecoming. I mean, Southern. Sorry. Don't want to be disrespectful. It is Southern's homecoming. All right. It is Southern homecoming. I need a spot. Okay. Now, listen, if you got a spot, I need power. Okay. I got the internet. I'm going to buy me a tent. I'm going to do all that stuff. I need power. So wherever you at, all right, if you got a tailgate spot, if you got a spot you like, Scotty, listen, I got power. You can come plug up on my side or text me, okay? Text me at that number right at the top of the screen, 214-396-0268, 214-396-0268. Be like, hey, hit me up. Hey, Scotty, I got a spot for you. Now, I can have multiple spots, right? And when I get there, because I like to get there early, I'll walk around, see which one best fits my feng shui, okay, of what I'm trying to portray and to do. So listen, once again, if you're going to be at Southern vs. Alcorn October 19th, okay, and you have a tailgate spot that has power, Key needs food, I need power, okay? If you have power, the rest of the stuff I'm bringing, okay? The rest of the stuff I'm bringing, I just need you to have some power. So if you got some power, you're like, hey, Scotty, you can set up in my spot. Text me at that number, 214-396-0268. Now, I know a lot of you Bamas are like, Scotty, why you ain't going to Jackson State and FAMU? First of all, it's Jackson State. My wife is not going to go to Jackson State on her birthday weekend. It ain't happening. Just throw it away. Throw the whole game away. Now, if I'm being honest, I didn't even want to go to Southern vs. Alcorn. I was actually invited by Arizona to go to the Arizona and Colorado game. What can I say? I'm moving on up, right? You know, Power 5 school reached out to me, knew a couple people on staff. They watched the show. They was like, yo, Scotty, we would love to, you pay for your ticket to get to Arizona, and we got you. I said, okay. But then I found out that was October 19th. Then I found out it was my wife's birthday weekend. She ain't trying to go to Arizona. She trying to be at Southern. So, as a good husband, I just took the L. So Southern it is. Southern it is. So, yeah. So we're going to have a great time. We're going to enjoy it, okay? We're going to have a great time. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to get fed, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a whole thing, It's going to be a whole thing. So, I mean, would I have rather been at the PWI? I mean, maybe, maybe. But, hey, teach his own. So, it still stings a little bit, still stings, but hey, it is what it is. We all live and learn. Great experiences. Now, listen, the campaign of Offscript Anywhere Army is still going on. Listen, for everybody that is donated, when I tell you from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You guys make all these things possible from your support. All my members, you guys make this stuff possible from your support as well. We're still looking for 300 to give $30.
You can't stop. Don't try. We true soldiers. We don't die.
All right. Still looking for 300 people to give 30. We are at 65 right now, okay? We're at 65 right now. Again, the emails will be going out. We're still coming up with the design for the shirt, so bear with us, okay? Bear with us. But we will get your information. You will get your shirt out, all right? Things like that. Now, There's multiple ways to give. But make sure if you give cheerfully, okay? Don't give grudgingly, give cheerfully, as the good book says, okay? Offscript TV as well as Offscript TV 2, all right? Both on Cash App. Make sure you put your email in the description, all right? Put your email in the top of that thing, all right? Venmo, Offscript TV, as well as Zelle at Scotty@itsoffscript.com. Again, thank you for everybody from the bottom of my heart who has donated to this. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all, okay? So you're making this all happen. Getting us on location, making it happen is through your giving and your willingness to give. All right, give cheerfully. All right, as God has given cheerfully to you. Okay, pay your tithes and offerings, as I say. All right, once again, 300 people to give $30. $30. Matter of fact, you can give 15 today and get 15 tomorrow. You're like, Scotty, I ain't got the whole 30. I ain't here to judge. You can get 15 today. Wait the next week, give another 15. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. All right. It is what it is. But once again, I appreciate you guys. And again, like as always, this video is sponsored by Elite 15 Coffee. Elite 15 Coffee. We do everything in the elite way out here, baby. Make sure you support Black-owned, veteran-owned business. Elite 15 Coffee. Now, we talking top fives today. I got a little film breakdown that I want to show you guys of just some of the things that I've seen from Alcorn, which I'm liking. When I went back and watched the film of the game, I'll tell you this. I like what I'm seeing from how they're using Xavier Vaughn, right? Because this is the thing when you have a certain type of player and a certain type of, I always say you got to fit it to what your people are capable of doing. And even though I might have expectations that I want to see a quarterback do a certain thing or look a certain way, can he do that? And if he's doing that, is it the most effective? And the way Alcorn is using Xavier Vaughn is the perfect blend of passing and running. So I can't get mad at what it looks like when it's effective. That's the key. Is it effective? Is Xavier Vaughn draftable? Absolutely not. But is Xavier Vaughn swag good? And is he an athlete? And can we use him in multiple ways to move the ball down the field? Absolutely. You get what I'm saying? So when I went back and watched the film, I was like, okay. I see that. I see how he's doing this. And you gotta appreciate how he's making it work. If I'm being honest, and just being honest, the way he's doing with Xavier Vaughn, I really believe he probably could have done it with Mako the same exact way. I'm just saying, I like Vaughn. It's if I'm being honest, and no Diddy, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's stride. It looks like for every 1 yard Mako gets, he gets 3 or 4, just because his stride. The Bama stride is so long. He just be like, just eating up grass. Okay, eating up grass. So it's like I said, gotta give kudos where kudos is due. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Now, let's get into these top 5. My top 5 wideouts for week 7. It's a little shift, right? It's just a little shift. I wanted to put, and I think next week I'm going to change this, right? I'm going to take, let me just do this right now. I'm dropping Trent Leary, not because he's not good, not because he's not a playmaker. It's because Texas Southern, with the quarterback selection that Chris Dishman is rolling with, you're not going to see the benefits of a Trent Leary. So take your mind's eye and just pretend he's not there. And I'm putting NCCU's, I think his name is Montreal Quick. I'm putting the Bama name Quick. Okay, he's my number 5 guy. So this just came to me. It just came to me, right? I'm dropping number 5, and I'm putting Quick from NCCU. I like that kid. I like that kid. It could have been Johnny Gibson. He had a great game. Breakout game. I got to see more from him. Got to see a little bit more from him. Had a big game against Tennessee State. Had a big game against Alcorn, right? Got to just see a little bit more. But I like Quick from NCCU. Honorable mention, Johnny Gibson from UAPB. Number 4, Jamar Gassett. Still explosive player. Still going to do what he do. I like him. I like him. Now, I know for Jack State fans, listen. I know Jack State fans. I know you're like, Scotty, why is Floridian not on here? Right? Why is Fort Tillian not on here? That's a good question. It really is a good question. I mean, he could be number 5. He could be. I'm not gonna lie to you. He could be number 5. I just gotta see a little bit more. If it's between Quick and Fortillion, I probably should have went with Fortillion. If I'm being honest, if I'm being completely honest, I probably should have went with Fortillion, right? Even though I like Isaiah Spencer more, Fortillion is the more big play type of guy. Like, he gives you the splash plays, but I think Isaiah Spencer is the better receiver, if that makes any sense, right? I think Isaiah Spencer is the better receiver, right? Listen, okay. It's not about production in all forms of fashion, because our wide receivers are very dependable. It's a very dependent position, right? Like, it's a lot that takes for a receiver to get the ball. So even though people the first thing they want to do is throw up production, right? Which isn't always the case of a good receiver, because sometimes you can have a bad quarterback, right? But you still should be able to see the potential in what that person is, right? When they get their opportunities. So for me, the reason Trent Leary is even in this discussion is because of his potential. But now, without KJ Cooper, without that quarterback, without the consistency of the quarterback, you won't see that. So I got to take him off, right? So I like Quick, right? Because there's a lot of things. A lot of the stuff that I do is just based off eye test, right? Like, I'm not a stats guy. That is not me. Like, the stats help your case, absolutely, but stats isn't everything. In my personal opinion, stats don't tell the whole story unless you watch what players can really do, right? So if I'm being honest, I think Jamari Gass is a better receiver than Fortillion. Now, you could say, Scotty, he's not as big, or that's physical. Like, I can't control Fortillion being 6'3" and 6'4", but his route tree is so limited. That's my issue. Fortillion's route tree is so limited, right? Like, if you're talking about a receiver, like, I need more. Like, can you run multiple routes? Can you do multiple things? How are you being used, right? So there's, like I said, there's a lot of levels to this thing, right? Because once again, I've played the position. I understand the position. I've seen it. I've been coached by somebody who's played as an NFL wide receiver, right? So I know the levels of what I'm looking at to be like, okay, this is a top-notch receiver. And for me, Fortillion he's great at big plays, but what else can he do for you, right? Like, you're not gonna catch Fortillion hitting you with a post corner. You're not gonna catch Fortillion hitting you with a deep comeback or catching the deep dig, right? Maybe they're not asking you to do that at Jackson, but that's just, I haven't seen it in his route tree. I like Isaiah Spencer a lot more because he's more versatile at the receiver position. If you didn't have Fortillion, to me, you put Isaiah Spencer on FAMU, he's an 800 to 900 yard receiver. You put Isaiah Spencer on UAPB with Mekhi Higgins, he's an 800, 900 yard receiver because of his ability to run the route tree. That's just my personal opinion. That's why I'm a fan of Isaiah Spencer probably more than anybody else, right? So it's little things like that. Like, there's receivers that I like number 17 from A&M. I think his name is DeQuarion Welch. I like that kid. I like him a lot. I haven't seen every bit of his tape to be like, oh, he's a great route runner, but he's explosive, right? Like, so there's different things in this thing that you just got. Like, I want people to understand, I'm not a stats guy. Like, that's just not, like, I'm not going to come up here and say, well, he's the top guy because he has the best stats. That's not always the case because everybody's situation is different. What I will tell you is this, is that watching some of these guys, the way that I've watched them and watched the tape on them, I can just tell you by the eye test, like, hey, these guys are problems, right? That's my thing. So me personally, I'll take a receiver that has a better route tree, that I can see it. I can see what they can do more than a guy who's just putting up crazy stats. And you're like, he's running go routes. He's running go routes. Like the defense, the situation that he's in is dictating that he gets man coverage. He's running a go route and he's open. Congratulations. Now, Fortillion isn't just doing that because he's making plays, one-hand plays, snatching out, like he's making big-time plays. So it's not just something, like you just can't find somebody off the street to just pluck the ball out the air with one hand. That ain't happening like that, right? So got to give him kudos for that. But I just got to see a little bit more for Fortillion for me to be like, yeah, he that guy. And October 19th is really going to tell you the truth, because if I'm FAMU, do you man up against, do you put Kendall Border on Fortillion? Because I know, whatever you want to say, if it was B.J. Bowler, his brother, I believe B.J. Bowler would have traveled. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So we saying Kendall Bowler is better than his brother. I believe his brother would have traveled. That's just me. That's just me. So we'll see. Now, Javon Robinson. Woo! Listen, I'm telling you, he's like baby Tyreek Hill. Like baby Tyreek Hill. And I just don't understand how he is not more productive in the SWAC. Listen. That's what happens when Dooley's your head coach. I can't explain it no other way than that. I can't explain it no other way than that. Because if Javon Robinson's on NCCU, he's a 1,000-yard receiver, and my eyes are closed, and I'm telling you this. He's a 1,000-yard receiver, and my eyes are closed, and I'm telling you this. If he's going to FAMU, he's a 1,000-yard receiver, and I'm closing my eyes, and I'm telling you this, right? Like, it's just certain places that if you go, they're going to use your skill set to the benefit of the team, and I don't think Grambling is doing that, even though this kid has baby Tyreek Hill written all over him. I'm so serious. Has baby Tyreek Hill written all over him. It is just ridiculous how they don't use him enough. So listen. If there's one person on this whole top 5 that I'm a fan, I love watching this kid's tape, it's Caden High. Caden High, I am a fan. Like, for real. Like, put the analyst hat down, put the whatever, put Scott. I am a fan of this kid, Caden High. He is the SWAC Cooper Kupp. I'm telling you, say whatever you want. I don't give a damn. He is the SWAC's Cooper Kupp. Like, he does it all. It doesn't matter how. Now, the only thing Caden High is missing, the only thing that would really take him, I'm sorry, he's the HBCU Cooper Kupp. My bad. That's my fault, right? The only thing that keeps me from putting him at number 1 is I haven't seen the breakaway speed, right? I haven't seen the breakaway speed that I would really want to see from Caden High. Like, just catch a slant and just be gone, right? But the kid does all, oh my God. Like, if you love the wide receiver position, he is the pinnacle of what you're asking players to be. I can run the route I can run all the routes. I can take the tough catches. I can catch it in crowds. I can catch it in however you want it. I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna come down with it. Right? If you don't like the Cooper Kupp analogy, he's your Julian Edelman. He's your Danny Amendola. He's your Wes Welker. Right? He's your Hunter Renfrow. Like, he's that guy that can work all levels and be your go-to guy. 3rd and 6, you need a completion, Caden High. 2nd and 7, you need a play to be made, Caden High. 1st down, it doesn't matter. He'll give it to you. And I love watching him play. I don't know that kid's number. But whoever is number 6 on South Carolina State, if whoever is number 6 in South Carolina State, if you combined number 6 and Caden High together, he's NFL bound. I'm telling you this right now. Listen, I don't care what y'all talking about. if you could combine number 6 from South Carolina State and number 10, Caden Hyde, that's an NFL wide receiver right there. Point blank period. NFL wide receiver. Not even, no joke. They going second, third round. Easy. Or he going to the portal and he going to Texas. Okay, I'm telling you, the Bama that good. Their skill sets are that elite. Number 6's speed is so elite. It's next level speed. And then Caden Hyde, his route running, his catching ball, the way he catches the ball, he's a solid hands catcher. You add those two together, you're talking about an NFL caliber receiver right there. So serious. Love Caden Hyde. I'm a big fan. Shamar Savage, listen, the kid's a pro. Okay, can I just say that? The kid's a pro. XFL, NFL, CFL, the kid's a pro. He gives me like DK Metcalf vibes, right? Like you're just too big, you're too fast, no Diddy, right? And you're just a problem to stop. You're just an absolute problem to stop. They got to figure out ways to get on the ball. They just do. There's no ifs and buts about it. I like the play they did with Incarnate Word, had him in the slot. He ran, well, he wasn't technically in the slot. They shortened his splits, and he ran like a wide fade, kind of like a wide fade, and kind of split the seam, like a wide seam. And he pushed on the corner, came back inside. Jaden Johnson, whatever his name is, the quarterback. Excuse me, apologize if I mess your name up, but found him on the seam, hit him, boom, touchdown. So, but after that, nothing. And if I'm being honest, PV was just bombing him over the top. Like Bama just couldn't catch the ball. Would have been a very different game if they had some receivers that could catch. But those are my top 5 receivers. Those are definitely my top 5 receivers. All right, let's get into my top 5 quarterbacks. This list just keeps on changing. Listen. I know what family people are talking about. Like, what? Scotty Howe. What? How? Listen, this week is ever changing. This group is ever changing. First of all, number 5, Jacoby Morgan, as they call him, the general. Listen, just solid, man. Just solid. Listen, you don't need a lot to be good in the SWAC. You just got to be consistent and solid. And that is what Jacoby Morgan is. And if I'm being honest, TC's not asking a lot of them. He just not. Hey, can you go 11 for 15? Can you go 12 for 16? Can you go 12 for 15? Like, you're not asking a lot when you got the 4 or 5-headed monster at running back at Jackson State, right? So I don't need you to do a lot. All I need you to do is not turn the ball over. And sometimes he does, but he's still effective in throwing the go route to Fort Tillian, or throwing the bomb, or throwing the underneath route, or whatever, making the right read at the right time, right? So he's number 5 because he's just consistent. He's solid. Just is what it is. Walker Harris, to me, is an upgrade of Jacoby Morgan. Not an upgrade, but just a little step above Jacoby Morgan. Well, again, NCCU's not asking Walker Harris to throw the ball 30 times. Hey, man, 20 and below, 25 and below, we straight. Right? They got a great running back. They got a great running game as well with Jamari Taylor, right? And they got the wide receivers with Quick and all those boys out there. So, listen, Matt Leone ain't asking him to do a lot. They're dialing it up the right way. He's seeing the field really well. He's just getting more and more confidence as the season gets along, more and more snaps under his belt. He's just going to keep getting better, and better. Right now, 3 through 1 has changed. Listen, Daniel Richardson is a solid quarterback. But again, you see how his deep ball is going to be his death. If he's off on the deep ball, it's just not going to be a good day for FAMU. I told you guys when I was watching the film, I said 20 and down, Daniel Richardson, there's nobody better. There is nobody better 20 and down than Daniel Richardson. But 20 and up, yeah, you might want to go 50-50 on that. Maybe 40-60. Maybe 40 and 60. 20 and up, yikes. It gets really ugly really quick. And that's his Achilles heel is the deep ball, right? So he has to get better, even though he's winning, even though he's the straw that stirs the drink at FAMU. At the end of the day, he has to be better in the situations that he's in for his team, for him to be more effective for his team. That's my whole thing, right? No, no, no. Listen, bro. Listen. First of all, who did y'all play? Let me. Who did y'all play? Let me see. They Hampton play. Let me see here. Rhode Island. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it and see. I might have to go back and watch that to see. But if we're being honest, Malcolm Mays hasn't started the whole season. He's been in spot duty all year with Chris Zealous. So I couldn't even put him in the top 5 for one game. That don't even make sense. Again, I am not a stat guy. I watch film, right? So he doesn't have the body of work for me to be like, oh, yeah, he's a top 5 quarterback when he's only really played one game, like a whole game, because usually he's in spot duty. So we gotta listen. Listen, Jacoby and Morgan is not better than the guys in front of him, Jason. No matter how you want to talk about it, Jacoby and Morgan is physically maybe, but field-wise, his team is not asking him to do what the other 4 are getting asked to do. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's not put in the same boat, in the same predicament as the other 4. He's just not. And the only one that's close to him is Walker Harris. Like, Walker and Jacobian are literally asked to do the same thing. Not crash the car, hand the ball off to a dynamic running back, and make the throws that are there. That's it. That's it. That's it. If I'm being real. That's it. So, Danielson at number 3. Listen. Mekhi Higgins, man, let me tell you. This kid, he just got it, man. I can't explain it no other than that. He just got the juice. And I hate that he's on UAPB. I really do. I hate that this kid is at UAPB because it reminds me of like somebody really talented, like the kid from Boise State, a Gentry, something like his name. Well, most people haven't seen him play because he plays on the West Coast. Bama sleep. They don't watch the game. They catch the highlight. So you don't really see how special he is, right? Mekhi Higgins is that for the SWAC. Like, you're not going out your way to watch UAPB. You're not going out your way to watch UAPB versus Tennessee State unless you're an Alcorn fan. You don't care that UAPB is playing Alcorn. Yeah, so you're not really going through that whole process of watching them, right? But the kid is special. I'm telling you. You watch the kid for a half, you're like, oh man, this kid got it. They really got somebody. They really got something with this kid. I just hope that if he does decide to stay, that they can really build something around him. Because they'll be in every game because of him, but they will lose most games because their defense is not really good and their offensive line isn't the best, right? So it just is what it is. And listen, that Bama Eric Phoenix put on a freaking clinic, okay? If you watch the Tennessee Tech film, they probably should have put up way more points than what they did. But he looked so efficient. We're gonna break it all down on Friday. But he was in his bag on last Saturday. He was throwing with anticipation. He was throwing with accuracy. The OC was dialing it up. It was, if you watched the game and saw the two picks were just like, they weren't even like bad picks, if I'm being honest. You know how like you can be like, damn, why he throw that? The picks weren't like that. They were just like, oh, they got him. Damn, they caught him. They got him. It was one of those type of things, right? So, but if you watch that game from beginning to end, Eric Phoenix was dialing it up. And let me be very clear. That 412 was not like 60-yard bombs. And it was short routes going for big plays. A 5-yard slant, a 10-yard in going for 40, 50 yards, right? Like, they did a play so nasty. Oh, the Eagles run this play. They did a RPO, right? They did an RPO, and he was rolling to the right like he was about to run. Everybody crashed in on him, including the DB. He floated it right over the DB's head, wide receiver. Go! Touchdown for like 50 yards. I was like, oh, that's so, like, I'm telling you, go watch the game. In his bag. In his bag on Tennessee Tech. For real, for real. They don't win that game if Eric Phoenix is not playing to the level which he was playing and the OC was dialing it up. Got to give a credit to the OC too. Yeah, the yak was stupid. Yeah, the yak was dumb. I'm talking like he threw a smoke route to number 6 like second play of the game. Like second play of the game, he threw a smoke route to number 6, 60-yard touchdown. Like it was just dumb. They were just going dumb. The score, if I'm being honest, the score should have probably been like 35-13. Realistically. Because Tennessee Tech weren't really messing with them boys, if I'm being honest. They really weren't messing with them boys. But mistakes happen, turnovers come at the most inopportune times, and the game becomes a battle. But I'm telling you. So South Carolina State, best QB. Yeah, matchup, like, I'm telling you. Eric Phoenix and Caden High is probably the best duo in the HBCU football. Outside of David Wright and Armando. Clark Atlanta's dude, that duo, the Florida boy duo, they're probably the number 1 duo, David Wright and him. The next to that is Eric Phoenix and Caden High. Like, that would be my number 1 duo is the David Wright connection with Armando from Clark Atlanta. Then the number 2 best duo in HBCU football is Eric Phoenix. That would be number 3. That could be number 3. And then number 4, I will probably have to put Jacobian. It will either be Daniel Richardson to number 8, the tight end, or Jacobian to Fortillion as duos, right? Like as duos. So I mean, they got some guys. They got some guys, man. It's not the most, let me say this year isn't the most like spectacular of like talent-wise. It's just like, oh my God, talent everywhere. And oh my God, play everywhere. But for what it is, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. All right. And last but not least, my top 5 play callers. All right. Top 5 play callers. Listen. Hey, listen. Teddy Keaton's still that guy. Let's not be. I know he lost to Savannah State. He's still that guy. All right. He's still that guy, number 5. TC Taylor, let me tell you. Let me be honest. I like what TC Taylor is doing at Jackson. I do. It, like, against A&M, it looked a lot more creative than it has for the past few games, right? Because, like, you would see, like, a splash of creativity. Then he'll go back to, like, he'll go back to just like kind of getting by, right? He'll just go do enough to get by. Against A&M, he was bringing it all out. And I like that. But let me tell you why I couldn't jump up over Joseph. the reason I couldn't jump him over Joseph, and bear with me, is because Joseph, his adjustment game is really, really great, right? Like, he'll come into a game plan in the first half, and you'll see you're like, Joseph, this ain't working. Come on now, come on. He will go make adjustments in the second half, and you start to see that thing flowing. Now, I'm going to be real with you. Against Jackson, you probably won't have that benefit. You're going to have to come out with a very, very solid game plan. But the reason I like Joseph Henry over TC is TC, let's be honest, TC has not made when the game is in tow, he hasn't really made great adjustments. If I'm being honest, just let's keep it let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a whole buck. When the game is in tow and he's going battle for battle, he has not made great adjustments. I'm just saying, the only time you can say, Scotty, that third quarter drive at ULM, that was a solid third quarter drive, got him down, did his thing. But a lot of games he hasn't had to make adjustments in the second half. He's just had to either coast or get by, right? So I'm waiting to see him. I'm waiting to see him have to get in his playbook and really dial it up. You get what I'm saying? Like, when he needs to, when the game is in. Now, mind you, you can't blame him for blowing people out or being so far up that, hey, we cruising. I'm not blaming him for that. But I'm explaining to you why I'm picking Joseph. I'm taking Joseph over TC, because I've seen Joseph Henry in some tight ball games and make great adjustments to get out of those games. That is the only reason why Joseph Henry is above TC Taylor. TC Taylor at the A&M game, and Mike said it. It's something about A&M. It's just something about A&M. When he see A&M, his blood get flowing. It's like a kid. It's like a kid who just I get so creative and just start drawing stuff, right? Like, that's TC Taylor when you see Alabama and A&M. Just like, hey, I'm going for it, right? But that's one of the things that I've seen for Joseph Henry, and that's why I'm taking Joseph Henry and TC Taylor. Listen, Jonathan Williams jumps up to number 2 this week is because of the game plan that they had for Tennessee Tech was A1. And this is the kicker. This is the kicker. South Carolina State is a very balanced offense, right? They want to run the ball about 15 to 20 times and probably pass the ball about 15 to 20 times, right? When Jonathan Williams saw that the running game wasn't working, he said, hey, I'm going to just lean on my quarterback. And I'm telling you, if you did not watch the game, if you're a South Carolina State fan, the only thing you can be mad about is we didn't put up more points. But you cannot get mad at the play calling, because Jonathan Williams was in his goddamn bag. Jonathan Williams was I'm talking about deep in his bag. It was just like, I ain't ran this one. Hey, let's try that. Hey, let's try this one. He was deep in his bag to pull South Carolina State out of the hole, or they weren't really in the hole, but just pulled it out in that game. He was dialing it up. He was dialing it up. Boy, was dialing it up. So shout out to Jonathan Williams. Man, he's really coming to it. He's really coming to his own as an offensive play caller, as an OC, and you got to be happy. Now, I'm curious to see what he looks like without Eric Phoenix, but we'll cross that bridge when it gets there. I'm not gonna ding him, no diddy. I'm not gonna knock him for having a solid quarterback, because everybody wants a solid quarterback. But we will see next year what it looks like without Eric Phoenix. We're going to see, and we see if he's still dialing it up then. Because the key mark of a true play caller is being able to call plays to the personnel that you have. That's why Willie Simmons will always be king in my eyes when it comes to offensive play calling standards, because in multiple years, he had multiple quarterbacks and called the game towards what he had on the team, and you got to give him kudos for that, right? He didn't have a Kill Glass for 5 years and just fell off the face of the map after he left. Like somebody we know. like somebody we know. Right? That didn't happen to Willie Simmons. He got a new guy. He kept winning. He got a new guy. He kept winning. That's the sign of a great play caller. It's a sign of a great offensive-minded guy, right? Or other OCs who get like a special talent, like, maybe somebody's name that rhymes with Devontae Kincadia. Like, you get somebody like that who's a special talent, and you ain't never been the same since. Devontae Kincadia. Just saying. But I'm not calling anybody out particularly. I'm just saying there's this difference. And last but not least, listen. That white boy cold. Hey, y'all remember the Titans? Y'all remember the Titans? That's a bad white boy right there. Hey, when you see Sunshine, when you see Matt Leon, just be like, hey, that's a bad white boy. And he be dialing it up. That man will be dialing it up, okay? Like clockwork. It is literally him and everybody else. Matt Leon be dialing that shit up. Dialing it up. It'll be straight clinic style, okay? So I don't know if this white man want HBCU problems, but gosh darn it, I would be calling. This is the thing with offensive play callers. Do you know who? Are you willing to take the chance to see if he can lead a team? Now, if I'm Matt Leon, I'm not taking a UAPB job. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking a Bethune-Cookman job. I ain't taking that. I'm not taking a Valley job. I'm not taking that. But if Southern came calling, I'll be interested. If Alabama A&M came calling, I'll be interested. If Alabama State came calling, I'll be interested. Right? Like, those are the places that Matt Leon should be interested in. But again, who's to say he wants HBCU problems as being the lead man? Who knows, right? Because white face, black football team, or black school, whatever, I don't know. But the Bama be dialing it up. He be dialing it up. So, shout out to him. I think that could work. I wouldn't be. You know what? I would not be mad at that. I would not be mad at that. I really wouldn't. I really would not. That's actually a good one, Black Pilot. I would, if I'm Matt Leon, I'll take that job. I'll take that job because they're gonna pay me well. I'm in another white conference with some white counterparts. So he feel right at home. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? So would not be mad at that. I think that's a damn good fit. I would take the PV job before I take Texas Southern job. I really would. If I'm Matt Leon, I'd take the PV job. I wouldn't be too mad at that. Yeah, I wouldn't be too mad at that. A white man in the state of Texas, he can make that work. A white man in the state of Texas with all them white head coaches up and down Texas. Oh yeah, he can make that work. He can definitely make that work. So I wouldn't be too surprised at that. All right, let's get to a little bit of game previews. Call lines are open 518-263-8124, 518-216-8123. I'm sorry. 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124. All right.
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
That's what they say. Oh, that's what they say. All right, bet. All right, let's go to this game. Now, there's something about this game. I really can't shake it. I really can't shake this game. Something about this game to me is just going to be weird. I like what PV has done at the quarterback position. I think it's really changed their season. If they would have kept with Cam, I think they would probably have lost to Grambling, and they'd probably be out the race. But making the change to Jaden, I think, or Jadon, or however you pronounce his name, I do apologize, but I think that's really helping this team out. Now, listen to me. Please listen to me. Listen to me well. Alcorn is really bad. Like, there's a number 77 on UAPB on the offensive line. Not good. The defensive line it's not there. So for me, if I'm UAPB, you got to blitz. You got to blitz. You got to get pressure. Now, you can't just blitz wildly against Jaden because of his running ability. He's a very elusive runner. He can get away. He can break out the pocket. But UAPB has got to apply pressure, and you got to keep somebody over top of Savage. Somebody else going to have to beat me, and I mean that. Savage is not going to beat me. If I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm playing press man, somebody over the top. Jaden going to have to either hit the whole shot or freaking throw back shoulder fades all day or whatever. But you ain't going to beat me with Shamar Savage. It ain't happening, right? But they got to apply a lot of pressure because I don't believe they're going to get it with their front seven. I mean, with the front four. They're just not. They're not good. I'm just telling you that right now. They're not good. So they got to blitz. And offensively, it is literally in Mekhi we trust. It's Mekhi Higgins, and there's nothing else. Nothing. Of course, the wide receivers, but if Mekhi Higgins is off, Higgins, how you pronounce the name, right? If Mekhi's off, the game's off. The game's over, right? It's literally like that. Now, for PV, I literally think this is a great warm-up game for you because conference play is going to ramp up really quickly for you. I think it's a great game to get your running game going a lot better. This is a great game to get that running game going, to attack this for your defensive front, to attack this horrible O-line. Spread the love. Find somebody other than Shamar Savage. If you can get a number 2 guy to Shamar Savage, your offense is that more potent. It can be that much more potent because everybody knows you got to stop Savage. But if you can find a great number 2 guy who can actually catch the freaking ball, right? Because a lot of them Bama's be dropping it, then you're good. And once again, run the ball. Got to establish the run. Got to figure this thing out in the running game because it's not coming together like it used to. Got to figure it out. All right. Next up. Look at Mr. Band Talk. You came in right in time. Right on time. Talk about them Bethune Wildcats. Listen, A&M. And I got to blow myself up for this. Dog. Connell Maynard. Listen to me. Please listen to me. Jesus Christ, listen to me. I don't give a damn who you pick at quarterback. I don't give a damn if it's your sister. I don't give 2 shits. Just stick with somebody. Please, for God's sakes, just stick with somebody. I'm so sick and tired of coming on here and saying, oh my God, Maynard changes quarterbacks like he changed draws. Let me say something. I really feel like you're a toxic ass male. Like, for real, like, you're a toxic ass dude because you're the dude who was married for 5 years, gets a divorce, and then talk about, man, these girls out here hoes. And you're like, bro, you've gone through you keep this revolving door of women, and all the women are a problem. All the women are a problem. Now, some of these girls have gone on to date other men, and they in healthy relationships, and you still looking for the right one. That is what you are as a head coach. It is dog. I've never seen somebody self-sabotage themselves so much. You had Quincy and Xavier. They were battling it out. Went back and forth with that. For what, 2 years? Then Cornelius comes in the picture the next year. It's Cornelius, Quincy, and Xavier. Cornelius gets hurt. You go back to doing the same shit you did last year with Xavier and Q. Q leaves. Cornelius gets to the portal, comes back. Now it's Cornelius, Avion, and Xavier. And Xavier, no disrespect. Listen, Xavier is the ultimate side chick. The ultimate side chick. You've been dating other people. I don't care. I still love you. Hey, I'm talking to this girl. Don't matter. She not like me. She can't do it like me. Hey, I know it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Can you come over real quick and make me something? I sure can. That is Xavier Langford. The game out of hand. X, go in the game. we're not supposed to win, X, go in the game. Cornelius plays. Avion Smith plays. Hey, X, you ready? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All I do know is just stick with damn X. Just stick with X. Just let X finish out his career. That's the least. That is the least you can do for him. For real, for real. And now I'm getting myself angry because for somebody who's been rocking with you as long as Xavier has, the least you can do, the decency, because your ass is fired. You're fired. You are fired. You're gone. So the least you can do on your way out is let X play the rest of the season as the starter. No subs, no nothing. Just let him rock out. That's the least you can do. For real, for real. Because you're fired. I mean, let's just keep it a buck. You're not coming back. You're done. This is your contract's up. You're done. Nobody's going to resign you, period. Who would? You've been ass for the last 3 years. So, to me, that's the least. That's out of respect for Xavier and what he is for the football team and what he's done for you. That's the least you can do for him. For real, for real. And I mean that. But it's kind of a manner. Why would we expect something like that? He's going to come into the game, probably play Avion Smith first, then Xavier comes in, then Cornelius comes in, and then Xavier finishes the game. Ta-da! I just explained to you the Bethune-Cookman game. Anyway, right? Going back. So, get DeQuarian Welch involved. I don't care how you need to get that kid the ball. Find ways to give him the ball. I don't give a damn if you got to put him in the backfield. Because Donovan Eaglin ain't it. Okay? Donovan Eaglin is not, he ain't it. He ain't it. He ain't it. Nope, he ain't it. Right? So just figure out ways to get that kid the ball. And listen, you got Hewitt out there. You got Hambrick out there. Man, find a way to get these kids the ball. Find a way to get these Bamas the ball. For real, for real. And last but not least, first of all, your defensive coordinator, shaky. But if it was giving advice for, you can't let Cam Ransom get comfortable. You can't let that happen. You got to get him on. You got to keep him uncomfortable. If he gets comfortable, it's going to be a long day. And I don't even think Bethune-Cookman has like wide receivers that really scare you. I like that they moved Darnell Dees and he plays both sides of the ball. I think that's a great way to add to stretch your offense. But Bethune-Cookman's wide receivers don't scare nobody. I mean, for real, they don't scare nobody. So you got to figure out ways to get more explosive plays from the wide receiver position, but don't let Cam get comfortable. All right, next. You got to have design runs for Cam. You got to get him in the game in other ways. The kid is explosive with his legs. He's a very decent passer, right? Willingness, he got a little gunslinger mentality to him. But I really feel if you can get him with some QB powers, some RPOs, you know what I'm saying? Tell him to slide, right? I think that works for him in their favor for Bethune-Cookman. Listen, Little Bill, get your son off the field. Get Raymond Woody Jr., the second, the third, the fourth. I don't give a damn. Get him off the field. First of all, take number one away from him because he's not that nice. Second of all, find another safety. He is not that nice. He is bad. And if you really want to talk about daddy ball, I know I said that about Shador. I know I said about Shiloh. But damn, you want to see some real daddy ball? Take your ass down to Bethune-Cookman. Watch number one on Bethune-Cookman, which is Raymond Woody, Little Bill's son, and tell me that ain't daddy ball, because that boy ass. Ass to cheeks, cheeks to ass. He is bad. at the safety position. And I don't know how he got the number 1. Unless, dog, listen. I know a lot of y'all be like, oh, we don't talk about our players. And, oh, shit. Listen, there's a reason why that Bama didn't play at Florida State. He didn't play a lot. He left Florida State, went to Pac-12, left Cal, went to Arizona. I don't know where he went. Left Cal. He should have been in the SWAC the whole time. He should have been in the SWAC the whole time. The kid is not good. That's all. I'm just leave it at that. The kid's not good. Last thing. I don't know what has been going on with Bethune-Cookman's front seven. It just has not looked the same since South Florida, if I'm being honest. It just hasn't. It just has not. And let me say this. I'm sorry. I got to go back to this. Let's keep it a buck. If Shedeur Sanders wasn't as good as he is, Shiloh isn't the greatest. Let me just please, but he's serviceable. Listen, Raymond Woody Jr. is barely serviceable. Like, he's serviceable in some area. I would take Shiloh over Raymond Woody Jr. That should tell you everything else. That me, if I was on a football team and we was in the backyard, we on the gridiron and we picking teams, and it comes down to 2 people, Shiloh and Raymond Woody, the 3rd, 2nd, 5th, junior. I don't know. I'm taking Shiloh. Hey, come on, Shiloh. Come on. So, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. Shout out to the SID at Daytona, my boy Brian. He hit me up. He said, hey, Bethune-Cookman did a hell of a job getting those kids out of there. They shipped all the sports teams. Everybody kind of went to their locations. They shipped some people back home as well to be out of the hurricane. So shout out to Bethune-Cookman for getting that all situated, and they evacuated pretty much everybody from what I was told. All the sports teams are pretty much taken care of, and people were getting home in their designated area. So he said, as of right now, everybody's good. Everybody's taken care of. He said they'll let once the power and everything is get figured out, that's when they'll start bringing everybody back in. But right now, everybody's been evacuated. So they did a really good job in clearing that up. So shout out to Bethune-Cookman for that. Because I know you'll get beat down for a lot of things, but no, they definitely took care of that and handled it based off what the SID told me. So solid job by them for that. Shout out. But that's it for Bethune-Cookman stuff. All right. Now, Texas Southern and Southern. Listen, it's really simple for Southern. Oh, yeah, it is Texas Southern and Southern. I'm thinking it was Alcorn. I'm sorry. This is really simple for Southern. Stop the run. Stop the run. That's it. If they're going to go with the quarterback that I think they're going to go with, the Bama can't throw. He can't throw. Simple. He can't throw. Okay? Stop the run. Limit Noah. And what I mean by limit Noah is don't have him just throwing the ball all around the yard, down the field. Just figure it out. Get better quick game for Noah. Catch and throw, easy reads, half field reads, stuff like that. Limit him. Don't have him drop back and try to throw the ball 10, 15, 20 yards down the field every single play. That's not going to work, right? Especially against the Texas Southern defense. I don't care what y'all talk. Listen, I don't care what you saw from Jackson to Texas Southern. That defense is legit. That defense is legit. It's only so much you can do when, at the end of the day, you don't got no quarterback to sustain drives, right? But the defense is good. And you can see the difference between A&M and Texas Southern. Texas Southern at halftime was 13-0. Alabama A&M at halftime was 35-3, 35-10 at half. It's a difference. It's a difference. All right, Texas Southern, the defense will need to lead you. Offensively, you're inept. Point blank, period. Chris Dishman, I like how you're building this team. I don't like your play caller. I don't like your stubbornness. I don't like the fact that you're sticking a redshirt freshman out there who is not a very capable passer and expecting your team to win. I don't see it. Can they sustain drives? That's the name of the game. My caveat is they need to play Jace. Point blank period. You need to play Jace. I'm going to leave it at that. All right. Before we get to this last game, you already know what it is.
You can't stop. So don't try. We true soldiers. We don't die.
All right. Offscript Anywhere Army is still going on. Looking for 300 people to give $30. You can give in multiple ways. Offscript TV or Offscript TV 2. Make sure you put your email in the chat, right? Offscript TV at Venmo and Scotty at itsoffscript.com. Once again, 300 people to give $30. All supporters will get a t-shirt and a shout out. You get what I'm saying? So we got all you guys and stuff, getting it all mixed up and getting it all typed up and everything like that. Nice and pretty for you, Bamas. Appreciate you guys. All right. Again, give cheerfully. Don't give begrudgingly. Give cheerfully. Offscript TV, Offscript TV 2. Once again, last time I said, I think we got 65 donations. Man, I really appreciate you guys. And again, I will be October 19th. I will be at Southern University, right, for the Southern Homecoming. Listen, we're looking for a spot. Me and Rocky going to be down there doing the show. I just need some power. I need somewhere with some power. If you got a tailgate, you like Scotty, you can roll through, do it at our spot right here, 214-396-0268. You can text me at that number and be like, Scotty, I got you. Swing through. See if it worked for you, all right? It gotta work my feng shui. I don't want to be in the back of the school, right by the river, right? Want to be somewhere nice, somewhere that close to the stadium, somewhere where we can be seen to see some people walk by and all that type of stuff. Don't put me in the back corner, you know what I'm saying? Like Dirty Dancing. Don't put me in the back corner like Dirty Dancing. You feel me? So that's all I'm asking for. That is all I'm asking for. If you got a little power, you got a little spot, come holler at me. Last time I went down there, I was at Varric spot, the RV jank. That was legit. Shout out to Varric. That was absolutely legit, man. Had a nice little setup, had a canopy and everything. It was nice. So shout out to him for that. And if Varric, if you can have me back, I'll definitely take it. Or Carousel. Mr. Gregory, y'all got that big ass tent, catered food. Slide me right up in that jugger. You know what I'm saying? I mean, God, Carousel got a thing so big, bro. It's crazy. Shout out to Carousel, right? So, all that. Now, game of the week. Game of the week. Alcorn, Grambling. In the hole. Heard they haven't won there since like 06, right? So, shout out to Wayne Cartwright. That jig was funny. He wrote on his on Facebook about he said they hadn't won there since 02. That jig was funny. Here we go. They still have to establish the run. That boy Sewell is legit. The running back Sewell, number 28 that they got, I like that kid a lot. And I think if you combine him with what Xavier Vaughn's legs are able to do, it's a very, very, very deadly duo. All right. So that you got that going. The QB's pros and cons are this. Great runner. If you watch the game against UAPB, he really doesn't push the ball down the field. Right? Like a lot of his stuff is 10 yards and down. So if I'm Grambling, I'm squeezing the field. He's going to have to throw the ball over my head. And that part of Xavier Vaughn's game, I haven't seen, and I haven't seen enough to say he's consistent enough to hit the 20 and 30. I love that. Loved it. I love that. PZ, listen. I love it. I'm so glad you brought that up. I absolutely loved it. And I'm glad it looks good on Mako. Say what you want. I said it. He gives me Braxton Miller vibes. The Bama from Ohio State who went from quarterback to wide receiver. He gives me those vibes. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Shout out to Gales for that. For real. Shout out to Gales for that. at the end of the day, you got to pressure Miles. The game doesn't. Let me say this: the game isn't over. It's not over, but 80% of it is done if you can get pressure on Miles. If you get Miles to start bringing his eyes down and worrying about the rush, he's not mobile enough to be like Xavier Vaughn, where he'll kill you 20 or 30-yard runs. He's not that mobile. He'll get you 5, he'll get you 10, maybe 15, right? So if you can get Miles Crawley to start bringing his eyes down and worrying about the rush and worrying about the pressure and where the blitz is coming from, it will be a long day for Grambling. Long day for Grambling. So for me, if I'm Alcorn, I'm blitzing. Now, you got to be very mindful because the game plan might have to change because Mickey Joseph knows that they are having a hard time protecting Miles Crawley. So you should see a lot of 6-man protections, a lot of 7-man protections, maybe a tight end and a running back stay in, block, chip, release. You should see more of those type of concepts being brought into the offense. If you don't, that just means Dooley is still being Dooley, which just means he's being dumb as hell. Point blank, period. He's being dumb as hell. So it is what it is, but you got to get pressure on Miles, and you got to figure out a way, if Dooley uses them correctly, how to stop Javon Robinson. All right, now, number one, Dooley needs to get his head out of his ass. I don't know if you ever heard this. My grandfather used to say this. No, I'm sorry. My uncle said this. He was like, when somebody is so bad or like somebody is so ugly, like he'd be like, a girl, like, man, that girl's so ugly, she'll fuck up a wet dream, right? Like that is Dooley. Dooley is so bad. When he's bad, he's bad. Like he can really fuck up a wet dream. Like you're like, oh man, everything is going so good, and then here comes Dooley and just, oh God, it's just bad. Like that is how bad he can be. And I'm telling you, the true indictment is if you look back at the last 2 teams that Dooley has had have been talented. They're not scrubs. He's not dealing with a Tony Hall at UAPB and your O-line is bad and you're trying to piece stuff together and like, how do I don't know. He's not coaching at Valley where it just ain't there. He had Southern and he has Grambling. And Grambling right here, right now, out of everybody in the SWAC, probably has either the first or second best talent at the skill positions, right? Because you gotta encompass it all, right? Like if you just take Jack State's running backs, that running back room is freaking elite. The wide receivers, they're like, okay, Isaiah Smith, okay, they're okay, right? Fertility makes plays or whatever. Like FAMU, Jamari Gasson is good. You know what I'm saying? The tight ends are great. Running backs, right? Like, but with Grambling, everybody's like a solid B. Everybody's like, Javon Robinson is an A. The running back room is a B. The other receivers are Bs. Like they're evenly talented. But when you look at the stuff that he's doing with this team, you're like, how are you fucking this up, Dooley? How are you messing this up? How? That's all every time I see Dooley forget how to be an offensive coordinator after like the second quarter. I be like, what? And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about when I say it's not that hard in the SWAC. Now, it might be against UAPB and you can feel how you want to feel. But at the end of the day, I keep telling you, if you see something and it's working, do it until they stop it. And that goes into my film breakdown for today. I want to show you, shout out to Jermaine Gales, because it wasn't super special, but he got the job done, right? So this is the start of the third quarter. Let me stop this back. This is the start of the third quarter, and this is literally where they get the ball. First play of the third quarter. This is his first drive out of the third quarter. Here we go. sees the motion, throws the screen, turns up, boom. I think that might be Mako. Now, second play of the third quarter, right? Pretty much the same formation. What does he do? He runs it, but makes it look the same on the outside. I like this, right? Makes it look the same, right? He runs it. Next play. Very next play. All right. Quick throw to Mako. Turns up. Gets the first down. Listen, take what the defense. This isn't overthinking. It really isn't. It's just solid play calling. Just solid. Now, this is where it gets good. This is what I'm talking about with if they're not stopping it, run that jank until they stop it. Here we go. Now, you see the stack formation at the bottom. Again, we got three, 2, and a possible, right? He's not really in the picture because he's too far. So you got 2 against 3. Here we go. Boom. Everybody blocks it up. You got one man to beat. Here we go. Easy. Pitch and catch. What? They go back to it again. They run it the next play. First down. Pick up the yards. Keep the chains moving. They run it again. Oh, wrong side, guys. Go to the other side. When I tell you this is what that looks like, run it until these Bama stop it. Here we go. Again. 2 against 3. Now, this is my kicker. This is the kicker right here. This is the kicker. When I talk about setup plays, because you guys hear me say that a lot, setup plays, setup plays, setup plays. What a setup play is like this. Let me explain it to you. A setup play is this. You've ran this play. I'm going to let it run forward, right? He runs this play again, right? He runs it again. So that's his third time running this play. What a setup play looks like is this. Now, a setup play looks like this. What you would do is Mako, would fake the block and he would go for the fade route. So you would pump this because these guys, this guy is like, damn, I don't want to get beat again. So you would pump the smoke route and he would fake stalk block and run a fade and you throw the fade. That is a setup play. Where you've seen it, I've shown you this play. I've shown you this play over and over and over and over again. So you think you know what's coming. But all I really did, even if he lost yards on this third time, I got to show it to you enough so that you think you know what's coming. So, boom, I pump it. He fakes stalk blocks. He goes with the wheel. It's a touchdown because this safety right here, his first step is going to come down because he can't get beat. He's seen the play. He can't get beat. So literally you have a defender here, and once he realizes it's too late, he's going to be in trail. All Xavier Vaughn has to do is put this ball. All Xavier Vaughn has to do, I done messed myself up. Sorry, guys. Oh, here we go. All right. Is put that ball in there and it's good, right? But they run it again, pick up good yards off of it. Guess what they do? They set it up again. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm not putting this over. It's literally the next play. This is literally the next play. Again, see, he shows it again. The safety is going to be out of position every time because he's expecting this throw. And then if you want to get real freaky with it, you did the halfback dive. The next time, RPO, quarterback keep. That is how you run a scheme. That is when I tell you, listen to me, please listen to me when I tell you, you don't see enough scheme action in the SWAC to where I show you the same formation. I can run 7 to 8 different plays out of it. That is my issue with offensive play calling in the SWAC. You don't see a lot of scheme build outs, like building on top of plays. There, a lot of times you just see Bama's calling plays and hoping it sticks. I love this sequence by Jermaine Gales. When I saw this, I said, this is textbook. Now, you could say, Scotty, it's UAPB. I don't give a damn. I'm just glad to see it because you don't normally see it. You don't. I've watched Alabama's a long enough time. I'm telling you, you don't see it very often. The only time I would see stuff like this is from Willie Simmons. And Willie Simmons, let me be very clear. Willie Simmons isn't heavy on always running the same, like, over and over. What Willie does is he'll do a play, run the play, and the next time you see the play, you're like, oh, but he just now he's done something different. Good example. In the Celebration Bowl, he was hitting the flat. He was hitting the running back on the flat, right? Or the running back was always going to the flat in the plastic routes. He would just go to the flats, or he'll do a Texas route or whatever. Well, he puts the wheel onto it on the backside, and it comes wide open because he hadn't ran it all day. He hadn't ran a wheel route off of it all day, right? So that's a little bit what Willie Simmons does. But again, you could have it this way with Jermaine Gales, to where I'll force feed it down your throat to where you think you know what's coming, but you really don't, right? And I just love it. I really did. I think this has a good sign for Alcorn if you can get more of this, right? So here we go. The next play. Again, I know y'all guys like, damn, he ran it the next play. Now, look at the difference, right? Look at the difference. It's a little tighter because, it's down in the red zone, so the stuff is a little squeezed. But again, he throws it. The only reason this ain't a touchdown because the Bama dropped it. Because you only got one person to miss again, right? And then lastly, he goes to the pistol, full house, whatever, touchdown, right? So at the end of the day, what I'm saying to you is this. There's a lot of ways to skin a cat, but what you saw there from Jermaine Gales, that is a scheme attack. That is literally what people, and if he did that in no huddle, thank you, God. That is what it looks like when I say, when people say, oh, I do this no huddle and I do this fast attack. Well, those are the times where you want to do a fast attack. I line up in the same formation, I run it. I line up in the same formation, I run it. I pass it, I run it. Same formation, and I'm killing you. And then I hit you with the setup play. I pump, I throw the go route. So now you got to, even if he misses it, even if Vaughn misses it, now you're cognizant of, oh shit, I hope I don't get caught with. You see what I'm saying? So now you got the defense reeling and they're thinking. So even when he sees the smoke route and you throw it, the DB can't just fly up the field. Why? Because he just threw a bomb over my head that I wasn't ready for, right? So it's all those things. So now I back you off because now the DB don't want to get beat. So now he's playing 7 to 10 yards off, even though he didn't see the stack formation 150,000 times, right? So instead of him being more aggressive, right? Let me see. I'm trying to get back to right. So instead of this corner being uber aggressive and pressing up right here on the line of scrimmage, well, now he's going to definitely stay back here because I just killed him on the bomb on the go route behind him. right? So it's all of those type of things. And once again, we got a light box, right? So we can run this one person to mid, like he's technically not in the box. If he blitz, okay, cool, but that's what this is for. So even if you put the running back over here, now you got an RPO pass situation, right? So I can RPO this and reading it off him, right? If the running back is on this side, I'm reading him. If he blitzes, I'm hitting this and it's gone, right? If he runs out of here, I'm gonna run it. Well, he wouldn't be looking that way. He would have to be looking, yeah. I'm sorry. So it'll be on the same side because he'll have to be eyes on him. So if he runs out, he would run it. If he stays in, he would throw it. Right? And then it would just flip to the other side. If the running back was on this side, he'll probably RPO this linebacker up here. Or if they let this DN go, he would then come up and go like that. So you get what I'm saying? So it's like that. That's how this thing works. And that's why I was really, really excited to see it. I was like, oh man, I gotta talk about this because I love it. I absolutely love it. Right? Absolutely love it. So, but listen. That has been my time. I know I haven't done a film breakdown in a while, but Friday I'm going to try to get to that Eric Phoenix breakdown. So if you're a South Carolina State fan or you know a South Carolina State fan, make sure you let them know I'm breaking down that Eric Phoenix film against Tennessee Tech. It was absolutely magnificent. All right, guys. But listen, until next time, you know. Oh, shoot. Jesus Christ, man. How you think I'll see you? I'm looking at the camera. I didn't know. Jesus. God, dog. Until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless, man. Scared the Jesus out of me.